कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविता शाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। वन्दे संस्कृतमातरं। सर्वेभ्यः शुभसायं तथा नमांसि। गद्यं पठामः। श्री रघुवीर गद्यं जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रासध्वान्त विद्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योम भास्करः। जय जय महावीर महाधीर धौरेय देवासुर समर समय समुदित निखिल निर्जर निर्धारित निरवधिक माहात्म्य दशवदन दमित दैवत परिषदप्यर्थित दाशरथि भाव दिनकर कुल कमल दिवाकर दिविशदधिपतिरण सहचरण चतुर दशरथ चरमरुण विमोचन कोसलसुता कुमार भाव कंचुकित कारणाकार कौमार केलि गोपायित कौशिकाध्वर रणाध्वर धुर्य भव्य दिव्यास्त्र बृंद वंदित प्रणत जन विमत विमथन दुर्ललित दोर्ललित तनुतर विशिख विताडन विघटित विशरारु शरारु ताटका ताटकेय जड किरण शकल धर जटिल नटपति मकुट तट नटन पटु विबुध सरिदति बहुल मधुगलन ललित पद नलिन रज उपमृदित निज वृजिन जहदुपल तनु रुचिर परम मुनिवर युवति नुत कुशिक सुत कथित विदित नव विविध कथा मैथिल नगर सुलोचनालोचन चकोर चंद्र खंड परशुको दंड प्रकांड खंडन शौंड भुजदंड चंडकर किरण मंडल बोधित पुंडरीक वन रुचि लुंटाकलोचन मोचित जनक हृदय शंकातंक परिहृत निखिल नरपति वरण जनक दुहितृकुच तट विहरण समुचित करतल शतकोटि शतगुण कठिन परशुधर मुनिवर कर धृत दुरवन मतम निज धनुराकर्षण प्रकाशित पारमेष्ठ्य क्रतुहर शिखरि कंदुक विहृत्युन्मुख जगदरुन्तुद जित हरिदन्ति दन्त दन्तुरोरोन्त दशवदन दमन कुशल दश शत भुज मुख नृपति कुल रुधिर झर भर भरित पृथुतर तटाक तर्पित पितृक भृगुपति सुगति विहति कर नत परुडिषु परिघ अनृत भयमुषित हृदय पितृवचन पालन प्रतिज्ञावज्ञात यौवराज्य निषाद राज सौहृद सूचित सौशील्य सागर भरद्वाज शासन परिगृहीत विचित्र चित्रकूट गिरि कटक तट रम्यावसथ अनन्य शासनीय प्रणत भरत मकुट तट सुघटित पादुकाग्र्याभिषेक निर्वर्तित सर्वलोक योगक्षेम विशित रुचि विहित दुरित वल मथन तनय बलिभुगनुगति सरभस शयन तृण शकल परिपतन भयचकित सकल सुर मुनिवर बहुमत महास्त्र सामर्थ्य द्रुहिण हरवल मथन दुरालक्ष्य शरलक्ष्य दण्डकातपोवन जङ्गम पारिजात विराध हरिण शार्दूल विलुलित बहुफल मखकलम रजनिचर मृग मृगयारंभ संभृत चीरभृदनुरोध त्रिशिरशिरस्त्रितयतिमिर निरास वासरकर दूषण जलनिधि शोषण तोषित ऋषिगण घोषित विजय घोषण खरतर खरतरु खण्डन चण्ड पवन विसप्त रक्षः सहस्र नलवन विलोलन महाकलभ असहाय शूर अनपाय साहस महित महामृध दर्शन मुदित मैथिली दृढतर परिरंभण विभव विरोपित विकट वीरव्रण मारीच माया मृग चर्म परिकर्मित निर्भर दर्भास्तरण विक्रम यशो लाभ विक्रीत जीवित गृध्र राज देह दिथक्षालक्षित भक्त जन दाक्षिण्य कल्पित विबुध भावक बंधाभिनंदित अवंध्य महिम मुनि जन भजन मुषित हृदय कलुष शबरी मोक्ष साक्षी भूत प्रभंजन तनय भावुक भाषित रंजित हृदय तरणि सुत शरणागति परतंत्री कृत स्वातंत्र्य दृढ़ घटित कैलास कोटि विकट दुंदुभि कंकाल कूट दूर विक्षेप दक्ष दक्षिणेतर पादांगुष्ठ दर चलन विश्वस्त सुहृदाशय अति पृथुल बहुविटपि गिरिधरणि विवर युगपदुदय विवृत चित्र पुंख वैचित्र्य अति पृथुल बहुविटपि गिरिधरणि विवर युगपदुदय विवृत चित्र पुंख वैचित्र्य दुन्दुभेः अस्ति राशिं केवलं वामपादस्य अंगुष्ठेन अंगुष्ठस्य स्पन्दनेन सः 10 योजन दूरं सः क्षिप्तवान् क्षिप्त्वा सुहृदः सुग्रीवस्य मनसि स्वस्य पराक्रम विषये विश्वासम् उत्पादितवान् राम जय जय इति पठितम्। सुग्रीवस्य मनसि शंका आसीत् वालिः अति पराक्रमी अस्ति तस्य वधं कर्तुं रामः शक्तः वा इति तस्य इंगितं ज्ञात्वा रामः इंगितज्ञः सुहृद मित्रस्य मनसि यः संशयः अथवा किञ्चित् अविश्वासः अपि यतः सः तावान् भीतः वालिनः पराक्रमः एव तथा अस्ति अतः एषः सुग्रीवस्य वालिपराक्रमस्य अनुभवः सम्यक् आसीत् पुनः पुनः तस्य मनसि शंका भीतिः अत्यन्तत्रस्तः अस्ति सुग्रीवः इदानीम् अतः सः अविश्वासं प्रकटयति रामस्य अस्त्रबले तथा तस्य देहबले अस्त्रबले सर्वत्र कथम् एषः वालिवधं कर्तुं शक्नोति इति सः परीक्षां कर्तुम् इच्छति। प्रथमपरीक्षायां रामः अत्यन्त यशस्वी भूत्वा तस्य अपेक्षायाः इतोपि अधिक 10 गुण अधिक पराक्रमं प्रदर्श्य सः मित्रस्य हृदये विश्वासं उत्पादयति। इदानीं द्वितीयः अति पृथुल बहुविटपिगिरि धरणि विवर युगपदुदय विवृत चित्रपुंख वैचित्र्य चित्रपुंख इत्युक्ते बाणः शरः अमरकोशे बहूनि पदानि सन्ति तस्य अस्त्र रामबाणस्य अतिशयम् अत्र पश्यामः। अति पृथुल इत्युक्ते अति विशाल अत्यंत विशाल बहुविटपि बहुविटपि इत्युक्ते वृक्षाः बहुविटपिनः विशालः अनेके सालवृक्षाः सुग्रीवः किं वदति वालिनः पराक्रमं वर्णयित्वा मम भ्राता एकं सालवृक्षम् एकेन बाणेन केवलेन एकेन बाणेन सह भेदनं करोति स्म शक्यते वा इति पृच्छति तथा डैरेक्ट्ली न पृच्छति सः एवं करोति स्म इति वदति एषः किं करोति इति पश्यामः अतिपृथुला वृक्षः महान् वृक्षः आसीत् तादृश केवलम् एकवृक्षः न 7 सालवृक्षाः आसन् अतिपृथुल इत्युक्ते अत्यन्त विशालाः बहुविटपिनः सालवृक्षाः आसन् तेषां तान् धरणिविवर रामस्य बाणः कथं गतः इति अत्याश्चर्येण अत्र वर्णनम् अस्ति बहुविटपि प्रथमं 7 सालवृक्षान् भेदनं कृत्वा अनन्तरं गिरिधरणिविवर तत्र समीपस्थ गिरिकुहरान् तद्भेदयित्वा धरणिविवर पुनः भूमौ गत्वा विवर इत्युक्ते 7 लोकान् अपि गत्वा युगपत् कथम् एकस्य अनन्तरम् एकम् अर्धघण्टा प्रथमं सालवृक्षाः तदा अर्धघण्टानन्तरम् अत्र तथा वा न युगपत् इत्युक्ते समानकाले सैमल्टेनियस्लि युगपत् उदय पुनः तत् कथम् अभवत् इत्युक्ते क्षणाभ्यन्तरे 7 सालवृक्षान् भेदयित्वा तत्र समीपस्थ गिरिकटकान् भेदयित्वा धरणिं भूमिं प्रविश्य भूमौ रन्ध्रं कृत्वा पुनः उपरि आगत्य उदय विवृत चित्त पुनः किम् अभवत् स्वस्य तूणीरं पुनः प्रत्यागच्छत् बाणः विवृत युगपत् उदय युगपत् इत्युक्ते समकाले उदयेन उदय इत्युक्ते तद् उपरि आगच्छति खलु तस्य बाणस्य भूमि गर्भात् उपरि आगत्य अथवा भूमिम् उत्पाट्य विवृतम् इत्युक्ते तद् यत् प्रकाशितं चित्रपुङ्खवैचित्र्य बाणस्य विस्मयकारित्वं यत् प्रदर्शितं येन प्रदर्शितं हे राम जय जय you pierced 7 sala trees mountains earth and the nether world saptalokaah santi adholokaah nether world with your magnificent arrow thus proving your skill in archery to Sugriva. This you have to visualize this Ramabana Parakrama. यदा अहं अत्र तु पुनः एतदेव वदामि अत्र मम दृष्ट्या एकत्र वाल्मीकिः अस्ति महान् कविः कथाकारः किं वदामि वाल्मीकेः कौशलविषये अत्र अन्यत्र पैरलली वेदान्तदेशिकाः सन्ति द्वयोः शैली भिन्ना अत्र सुदीर्घवर्णनानि सन्ति बाणस्य अत्र केवलं रामसुग्रीवयोः एतत् परीक्षा विषये एव बहु प्रायः 50 श्लोकाः सन्ति तत् वाल्मीकेः नैपुण्यम् अत्र देशिकाः किं कुर्वन्ति तत्सर्वम् अत्यन्त संक्षिप्तरूपेण एते वदन्ति तत्र धरणि विवर एकैकपदस्य एव बहु श्लोकान् अहं तत्र पठित्वा तस्य विवरणं अत्र मया दातव्यं भवति उभयोः तादृशं नैपुण्यम् अस्ति अत्र रामबाणस्य किं वदामि वेगः पराक्रमः तस्य शक्तिः सर्वं यदा अहं वाल्मीकि रामायणं पठामि स्म वयं तु अत्यन्त अल्पाः even intellectually we are in that state sometimes we can't even imagine or we can't comprehend things so as I was reading Valmiki Ramayana this Ramabanas, this thing, as I was reading, this Deepavali Parvani Vayam Spotakan Spotayamaha. So many different varieties of crackers are there. This rocket, if you have seen, I think all of you have experienced. If though you might have stopped bursting crackers now, each firework, it's such a I wonder how they might have done this. When it goes up, it shoots to the sky, and there it is so many stars, and they fall from that one. It's with a burst, like stars, color sparklers like thing. So many in that itself. It's so many varieties. My mind, people like me can relate Ramabana to only such this thing. Neither have we seen any expert in archery. That is our this thing. What can we say? So, but just you can visualize Ramabarna's power. It has pierced 7 sala trees, and it has pierced the mountains that were in the surrounding area, and it pierced the earth, and again it came back and went into its quiver. Don't you feel that something? Don't you feel like relating this to boomerang? Exactly the same thing happened. Just imagine this boomerang was used, I think, maybe by Australian Aboriginal people for hunting. This a retiring boomerang is designed to return to the thrower, and it is well-known weapon used by some Aboriginal Australian people for hunting. So Ramabana was like a boomerang. It went to all these places, and again it went back. It came to him only. Atra सप्त सालवृक्षान् अत्र किञ्चित् अत्र पठामि. अस्तु. सुग्रीवः वालिबलेन जनितभीत्यतिशयात् तस्य मनसि किम् आसीत्? अत्यन्तभीतिः आसीत् वालिनः पराक्रमविषये. पुनः तस्य अस्त्रप्रयोगनैपुण्यदर्शने कुतूहलः. अतः प्रत्ययान्तरं प्रार्थयति. प्रत्यय इत्युक्ते विश्वासं, किमपि विश्वास उत्पादनं किमपि तादृशकार्यं पुनः प्रार्थयति. तेन प्रार्थितः रामः यदा सः दर्शयति एकेन बाणेन मम भ्राता सालवृक्षभेदनं कृतवान् इति सः भवता शक्यते वा इति एवं सः पृच्छति. सः किं करोति? एकेन बाणेन सालवृक्ष किं सः चिन्तयति रामः? एकसालवृक्षभेदने मम तथा वाली पराक्रमं समानं भवति. यदि अहं सुग्रीवस्य मनसि विश्वासम् उत्पादयितुम् इच्छामि, वालिः यत् कृतवान् ततोप्यधिकम् एव मया करणीयम्. सः किमपि यशः कृते अथवा प्रसिद्धिं प्राप्तुं रामः एतादृशकार्यं न कृतवान्. मित्रस्य स्थितिं पश्यति. तस्य तु यत्किमपि करोतु तस्य मनसि विश्वासः एव न भवति. तथा he's so much depressed. So Rama, like a very good friend, he wants to cheer his friend up, and at the same time he wants to prove that he is much more powerful, stronger, or a best archer who is in every way capable of facing Vali. अतः सः किं करोति? एकं बाणं, केवलम् एकं बाणं, चित्रपुङ्ख तत् प्रयोगं करोति. तेन धनुषः निर्मुक्तः शरः 7 सालवृक्षान् भित्त्वा गिरिं धरणीं च भित्त्वा पुनः स्वतूणीरं प्राविशत्. एवं रामस्य अस्त्रविधाननैपुण्यम् अनितरसाधारणम् अत्र एवं भवति. And I don't remember where I had read it. I think it was in Kavya Prakasha. If you know the source of this, maybe in Udaharana Shloka in Kavya Prakasha, or some Lakshana Grantha, I had read it. Yada Ramaha sapta salavrikshanam bhedanam karoti sharena. Again, it is not in Valmiki Ramayana. Tatra kim bhavati prathamam tathapi asti sapta salavrikshaha api ekasyam pankto na asan. There again, they were not in the there is somewhere I read in Philadelphia Museum of Art, there is a picture of this Rama shooting this, hitting the seven, or aiming at these seven sala trees. The arrow is emerging. It says somewhere I have read. And in some Sanskrita Kavya, लक्षणग्रन्थे उदाहरणश्लोकः एवम् अस्ति यदा रामः सप्तसालान् भेदनं करोति एकैकवृक्षे एकः रन्ध्रः भवति and it is a forest. So just imagine the just again and again I'm telling you to visualize these things, because whatever I'm experiencing I may not reach you with my words. So only thing left is you have to visualize. So Rama has shot an arrow, and each arrow, that arrow is it has made a hole in those seven sala trees. And it is a forest. Tatra kim bhavati vrikshe randraha asti tadapi bhinna bhinna sthale samana sthale nasti ekam atra ekam asti evam asti, and it has made a natural flute with saptasvaras. So the poet describes, and the air enters through those holes. It became like a flute, and the seven trees were singing the Gunagana of Rama, like in seven swaras, sapta svaresho, te salavrikshaha, Ramasya Gunaganam gayanti iva, he says. I really do not recollect that shloka. If I get that, definitely I will read it. It is only this meaning it came to my mind. So sapta salavrikshaha api idanim Ramaha evam kritavan khalu tatra vrikshe randraha jataha tatra vayuhu yada vayuhu vahati tena swaraha sapta salavrikshaih sapta swaraha tat katham asit ityukte vrikshaih Ramasya gunaganam te gunam Ramasya gunam gayantaha prashamsam kurvantaha santi iva iti kavihi utpreksham karoti tatra तथा अत्र केवलं अत्र वक्तुम् इच्छामि तत् इदानीं एतत् दृष्ट्वा सुग्रीवस्य मनसि विश्वासः समुत्पन्नः. So in the first, when Rama executed the first task, Sugriva still had a doubt that that was mainly physical this thing. What he did, he lifted that skeleton, the heap, as it was like Kailasa. Kailasa, it has two. It can why that heap of the bones were compared to Kailasa. One is Kailasa is mountain. Mountain is made up of hard rocks. So one was, it was very hard, not soft, and the other was because of its color. Maybe it was white, and because of that, that Kailasa Koti is it's compared to that. So he wanted Sugriva, though he was convinced, still somewhere in his mind he had a doubt. So he prescribes a second test, and he showed the sala trees and asked Rama to pierce with one arrow. Actually, he asked only one tree. He says Vali used to do it. Such powerful was his arrow. He used to shoot this, and the tree was not just a small, a huge tree. So that was a very, it required a lot of strength and aiming, everything. So Rama's arrow achieved the piercing of 7 trees, Not only that, he pierced the 7 land masses, went to the netherworld, and returned fast and got back into its original place, all in the duration of an eyelash wink. तदेव अत्र मनसि तद् बूमराङ्ग् अथवा एतादृश अद्भुत एतस्य चित्रणं युष्माकं मनसि अपि भवति चेत् कथं रामबाणस्य वैचित्र्यम् इत्युक्ते अत्यन्त विस्मयकरम् आश्चर्यकरम् आसीत्. तादृशं कार्यं भवान् कृतवान्, त्वं कृतवान् राम. जय जय. अति पृथुल. Each word, it's when you understand the word, learning, memorizing, and even reading, it will be pruthu, pruthu, pruthula. It talks about the vastness. Vishala. वृक्षः अत्यन्त विशालः. यदा उपरि वृक्षः विशालः भवति तस्य काण्डः, the trunk has to be really very strong. अति पृथुल बहुविटपि, बहुविटपिनः तत्र इत्युक्ते सप्त इति वक्तुं तत्र बहुविटपि. अनन्तरं बहुविट वृक्षान्, गिरीन्, धरणि, भूमिं, विवरैस् मेकिंग whole, रंध्र. गिरि विवर, युगपद उदय. Immediately he did in one flash of a second. युगपद उदय विवृता, like this it exhibited. चित्रपुंख वैचित्र्य, Rama's arrows, it exhibited such a wonder. Within a flash of a second it did all this. And O Rama, who has this Chitrapunka Vaichitrya, who's it is talking about Rama's arrow and telling Rama, you have such a skill in archery. Oh Rama, whose arrow is like this, so and so, victory to you. Prayah spashtah asti iti manye. Agre gachamah. Vipula bhuja shaila moola nipida nipidita Ravana Rana Ranaka Janaka Chaturudhadi Viharana Chatura Kapikulapati Hridaya Vishala Shilatala Dharana Daruna Shilimukha. Punaha Shilimukha ityukte Banaha. Bahu padan bhavantaha kimapi grihakaryam vadami. You can just make a list of words that are used for see Vishika, we heard Vishika. Sharaha, Banaha, all these are very known words. Shilimukha, Chitrapunkha. You yourself can make a list of words, synonyms of Bana. So, language learners, for you it's an asset, treasure. Vipula Bhuja, Shaila Moola Nibida Nipidita Ravana, Rana Ranaka Janaka Chaturudhadi Viharana, Chatura Kapikulapati, Hridaya Vishala Shilatala, Dharana Daruna Shilimukha. Punaha atra idanim Vali Vadha Prasangaha. Sarvam Vishwasta Hridayaha Sugrivaha. Idanim Vali Vadhartam Sarvam Siddhamasti. Katha Madhye Punaha Katha Dirgha Katha Bhavati. तत्सर्वं न वदामि यतः वाली वदस्यैव वदामः. पूर्वं तस्य मनसि एव यतः द्वावपि यमलौ इव आस्ताम्. अतः प्रथमवारं यदा सुग्रीवः गच्छति आह्वयति तं युद्धार्थं, एषः एतस्य भ्रमः भवति कः वाली इति. तस्य मनसि एतदपि यदि अहं बाणं विमुञ्चामि तद् यदि सुग्रीवं लक्ष्यीकृत्य गच्छति चेत् मम मित्रस्य हानिः भवति. तथा न करणीयम्. I should not be in haste. तथा चिन्तयित्वा पुनः तं किमपि गजपुष्पी इति तत्रैव वने यत् पुष्पम् आसीत् तस्य मालाम् एकं कृत्वा लक्ष्मणं वदति, सः करोति, कण्ठे धृत्वा पुनः गच्छति, आह्वानं करोति. तदा किं भवति इत्युक्ते Bali Patni Tara, there's a beautiful advice of Tara, how she these Valmiki Ramayana is such a thing that there are so many such pieces of advices which themselves they can be separated from that work, and they can be studied in many courses like management, other courses. Sita's advice to Rama sometime in aham vismritavati tad vaktum. Actually, Sita in Aranyakanda, as he was getting weapons and blessings from all these sages, from Sutikshna's ashrama, he was marching towards Agastya ashrama. Then Sita comes to know that he is about to enter that Dandakaranya, where the 14,000 Rakshasas, and that's a very scary place. Then she says, Sa vadami smaraye natu shikshaye iti vadati. Very diplomatically, she speaks to Rama. See, you have come to, we have come to Vanavasa to fulfill your father's wish. You are wearing jata and you are like one, almost like one rishi or muni. For self-protection, you have bow and arrow. What is the use of all these weapons? She, 2-3 stories of other kings also, sages she narrates there. How holding a weapon is like holding fire. A person holding fire he can never be quiet. So these two, Shite, your dress and these weapons, they are very contradicting, she says. And also she tells some incident like Indra, purposely, this Indra's act, sometimes they are very cunning, and some Rishi was doing penance. And because of that, the Indra was always, Indra's role sometimes is very funny. He is scared and he comes and he enters a sword with that Muni. You take care of this sword, he says. And that Muni, poor fellow, he has to, even those people are very trustworthy, and they always go by the word that they have given. So he wanted to safeguard that sword. And initially he used to see whether it is in proper place or not. And later he used to carry that always with him. And slowly, gradually, how he became how he practiced violence. All this she says. And see, these Rakshasas, though they are demons, they haven't done anything. There is no enmity between them and us. So she asks, why do you want to kill them? And all that. So that's again a very beautiful piece of advice. Then Rama says, I have, though I'm not a king in this forest, aham kshatriyaha, etad artanam rakshanam. They have come to me praying, requesting my help. Actually, I should have gone to them to find out their welfare. Instead, they have come and sought my help. Abhayam yada ekavaram dadami. I will not listen to you nor Lakshmana. I can be without you or Lakshmana, but I cannot go back with my words. Tatha vadati. Atrapi Tara valinam upadesham karoti. Idanim dvitiyavaram yada Sugrivaha agatavan asti. Kimapi महत् कारणम् अस्ति नो चेत् सः पूर्वं पराजितः अत्यन्तं व्रणितः he was very badly wounded in the battle very recently. How can he come and roar like this? Definitely there is somebody who is helping, and that person might be very powerful also. Ma gaccha iti bahudha vadati. Yeshaha valihi na shrunoti saha. This we have seen in everyday life also. We are seeing ignoring their advice and getting into problem and all that. Sahaga vadati yuddhasya ahvanam kadapyaham nirakaranam kartum prabhavami gacchami eva idanim tasya vadaha nishchitaha sugrivasya iti nishchitya agacchati anantaram. Tatra, again, there are so many, in Valmiki Ramayana, 100% there is no controversy about killing of Vali from behind a tree. Rama doesn't confront Vali. He shoots arrow one arrow at Vali. There are so many very justifying points for that. So let us not discuss all that. How he killed Vali, we will see. Vipula Bhuja. Who was Vali? You can again visualize Vali, very, very well built. Vipula Bhuja. His Bhuja, his physical stature has been described here. Vipula Bhuja, Atyanta Vishala Bhujau, Tadrisha Bhuja, Bhuja Shaila. Bhuja Shaila is one word. Vipula Bhuja Shaila. You can take it like that. So this was now we have seen 6-pack, 8-pack like that, men who with a lot of exercise and all that, they build their body. So Vali was one such fellow. Even Sugriva was no less. He has seen in this Amara Chitra Kathas, compared to all other Vanaras, Sugriva and Vali both are very, very powerful. Even Hanuman. Vipula Bhuja Shaila. So his Bhuja was like a Shaila. Vishala Bhujaha eva Shaila iva. Tasya Mula will be after Shaila. Shailasya Mule. Mule is this part, armpit. Shaila Mule. Nibida. Nibida is very tightly. Sandra. Nibida Nipidita. Nipidita is Sanghattita. So first I'll explain what this is about. Ravana was caught under his armpit very tightly. And how was Vali's arms? They were very, very strong, like they were very vast and high, and under his arms, that is in his armpit, Nibida Nipidita, Ravana was sandwiched actually. Very tightly he was squeezed. And Rana-ranaka ityukte atyanta utkantaha. He was very, very very troubled. Rana-ranaka janaka. Kaha Ravanasya Rana-ranaka janakaha Valihi. Saha kim kritavan स्वस्य विपुल भुज शैलस्य मूले रावणं निबिड घन अथवा सांद्रतया संघट्टित रावणं संघट्टितवान् न तावत् केवलं न तावत् चतुरुदधि विहरण having Ravana like a doll under his arm, in his armpit, he traveled to all these 4 quarters, and Udhadi Viharana, he went to all these 4 oceans, and he did Sandhya Vandana, it says, even in Valmiki Ramayana, it says, that means it was such a, for him doing Sandhya Vandana with Ravana under his armpit and going to all these places, each ocean was there was so much of long distance between each ocean. Chaturudhati Viharana, it was a very enjoyable sport for him. Tadrisha Chatura Kapikulapati. Who was that? Chatura Atyanta Nipunaha Kapikulapati. Kapikulasya Kapehe Kulasya Adhipaha Valihi. Valiti atra padam nasti. अस्माभिः तत् ज्ञातुं शक्यते. वालिनः हृदय विशाला. कथमासीत् तस्य प्रथमं भुजस्य वर्णनं. हृदयं विशाल शिलातलमिव आसीत्. It was like one flat stone slab. Daruna Shilimukha. Daruna, it was very pitiful. And Shilimukha, again that arrow pierced that vast chest of Vali. Punaha vadami yataha yatra dirgha churnika asti punah kathanena arthaha atyanta spashtam bhavati. You sent your fierce arrow at the broad and stone-like chest. It was very hard, broad as well as very, very strong. Each word See, with Vishala would have been enough, but Shilatala, it was like it was very hard. Even inside, he was stone-hearted towards his brother. But the words are so powerful in Sanskrita. Superficially, they say it is like hard, like a stone. But when you see how he behaved with his own brother, who did not give even an opportunity for his brother to listen to his uh, explanation why he did that, like when some that Mayavi he came and challenged Vali for a fight, and he like each one is a giant. When as we have seen cartoons and other such visual things, we can imagine very huge that Mayavi was. He challenged him for a fight. He challenged Vali for a fight, and while fighting, they entered a cave. And Vali asked Sugriva to wait outside that cave. And Sugrivaha tatra pratiksham karoti sma. Bahukalanantaram kim abhavat. From that cave, a stream of blood and a lot of shouting and all that. With that, like a river, the blood started flowing. And this Sugriva, he really got scared because Mayavi was such a powerful demon. And so, though he knew that Vali was no less, for so many, maybe for an year, he waited outside. Waited outside means like he used to go again, come guard and all that. Then finally, when this happened, he really got scared. If that Mayavi comes outside, then the whole all Kapikula will be completely vanquished. Thinking so, a huge boulder he places and gets back to the kingdom. And as there is no king, he becomes the king, and like that, these things happen. Vali kim karoti saha tam mayavinam मारयित्वा सः एतत् बृहत् शिलामपि दूरं क्षिप्त्वा सः आगच्छति किष्किन्धां तत्र सः अत्यन्त क्रुद्धः अस्ति he thinks that brother has cheated him and he takes away his Sugriva's wife by force and all that, so many things, but he doesn't give an opportunity for Sugriva to speak. So he was so stone hearted, he had become so cold. Shila, for that Shilatala, Daruna Shilimuka. You sent your fierce arrow at the broad and stone-like chest of Vali, the king of monkeys, who held the anxious Ravana in his armpits. If Vali could be vanquished so easily, then what to speak of Ravana, who was a mere doll to Vali? This Ravana is really sometimes. See, earlier we had seen about Sahasrarjuna. Ravana had tasted defeat at his hands. Now is the second turn. So third time it will be over. But this ego, how a person when he overcomes, Ravana was powerful. Not that, see, power, it's more powerful, most powerful like that. This degree of comparison varies. So Ravana, mainly when a person is completely overpowered by ego, how that leads to their complete destruction. That we can see in Ravana's personality. So, atra kinchit punaha vaktumichhami. Vipula bhuja shailamula. Yadi विपुल भुज शैल विपुल भुज शैल पुनः पदस्य प्रतिपदस्य अर्थं वदामि विपुल भुज शैल विशाल भुजौ एव शैल इव यस्य आस्तां काठिन्येन तस्य भुजयोः अथवा एकस्य भुजस्य मूले कक्षायां कक्षा इस् द आर्म्पिट् मूले निबिड निपीडित अत्यंत सांद्रतया संघट्टनेन. Sandra is very tightly. Sandra is very well packed, close, ghana. All these mean here nibida. Nibida nipidita means He was tightly crushed, sandwiched or squeezed under Vali's arm. Kaha nibiditaha sangattitaha रावणस्य लङ्काधिपतेः राक्षसाधिपतेः रावणस्य रणरणकजनक रणरणकः इत्युक्ते उत्कण्ठा अथवा अत्यन्त उद्वेगजनकः रावणस्य मनसि वालिपराक्रमस्य विषये महान् उद्वेगः आतङ्कः उत्पादितः रणरणकजनकः कः वालिः वालिः चतुरुदधि विहरण चतुस्सागर गमन क्रीडायां चतुरस्य तत्र चतुर इति अत्र अर्थबोधनसमये षष्टि चतुरस्य दक्षस्य कपिकुलपतेः कपिकुल अधिपस्य वालिनः हृदयमेव वक्षस्थलमेव पुनः विशालशिलातल कथमासीत् अत्यन्त विपुल शिलाप्रदेशः इव आसीत् तस्य शिलाप्रदेशस्य दारणे भेदने दारुणशिलीमुख अत्र दारुण इस् द adjective for शिलीमुख तादृश शिलासदृश वालिवक्षस्थल भेदने अत्यंत क्रूर अथवा तीक्ष्ण बाणयुतवान् शिलीमुख बाणयुतवान् हे राम जय जय अत्र किष्किन्धाकाण्डः समाप्यते अत्र पुनरेकवारं केवलम् एकैकस्य चूर्णिकायाः भवन्तः यदि इच्छन्ति केवलं तस्य यू कैन जस्ट गिव वन वर्ड प्रभञ्जनतनय भावुक भाषित रंजित हृदय मीटिंग ऑफ हनुमान and okay meeting Hanuman and agreeing to meet Sugriva because Bhashita Ranjita Hridaya that says Hanuman won over Rama's heart to meet Sugriva. So Hanuman was successful in doing that job. Therefore, you can just Sugrivasya melanam Hanumatah agamanam Sugrivasya melanam cha. And the second one is Tarani Sutta Sharanagati Paratantri Krita Swatantrya. Sugriva and Rama's friendship and Rama promising Sugriva Ramayoho Maitri Tata Ramasya Abhayadanam. You can just write that so that when you read that you will remember. Rama Sugriva Yoho Maitri Tatha Abhayadanam. Tritiyam Ramasya Bala Pariksha. Dundubi, if you just write that, I think you can make out the rest. Ramasya Bala Pariksha. Chaturtham Rama Banasya Pariksha. Rama Banasya Pravinyam Naipunyam Rama Banasya Mahatvam. Atra Valivadaha. So just if you write for each churnika, next to that Sanskritena evam likhanti chet, yada pathanti, yadi kinchit kalanantaram kadachit padanam vismaranam bhavati, tada valivadaha asyam churnikayam valivadaha varnitaha iti patanti chet, tat sulabam bhavati. Anantaram ekaikasya padasyapi manasi vipula bhuja. See, all these words are used in regional languages also. Bhuja, Shaila, Mula, almost Bharatiya Bhashasu Samskrita Padanam Bahudha Upayogaha Astyeva. Kadachit Kinchit Madhye Vibhaktinam Yojanena Churnikayaha Sampurnam Artham Siddhyati. Astu Adya Sundarakandam Yataha वेदान्तदेशिकैः केवलम् एकस्यां चूर्णिकायाम् अष्टषष्टि सर्गाणां केवल सर्वस्वदान एकेन पदेन समग्र सुन्दरकाण्डस्य वर्णनम् एकस्यां चूर्णिकायां कृतं। तद् अद्य आरम्भं कृत्वा मध्ये यतः सुन्दरकाण्डे विघ्नाः यदा भवन्ति सः कदापि न विरमति। अतः अहमपि आरम्भं कृत्वा मध्ये विरामं स्वीकर्तुं समयः जातः इति कर्तुं न इच्छामि। अतः यदि प्रश्नाः सन्ति तद् वदामि। अद्य अत्रैव स्थगयामः। भगिनी एकं वदति, these were certainly extremely strong men despite absence of protein shakes. Satyam. शिलीमुख इत्युक्ते बाणः। अत्र कः लिखितवान् अस्ति? रामानुजन्. सत्यं, he has written the 7 trees were like snake bend. तत्र अन्या एका कथा अपि अस्ति। यथा एते सालवृक्षाः किमपि एकस्यां पङ्क्तौ न आसन्, लक्ष्मणः सः आदिशेषस्वरूपः, they are very much Rama and Lakshmana as far as possible no अतिमानुष एतद् अथवा दैवी शक्ति प्रदर्शनं नास्ति एव. Maybe he did he gave some idea. Lakshmana, as he was Adishesha, he brought them under one this thing, they say there is one such version also. So they were like here Mahodaya says they were like the snake bend. Snakes never go straight like a line, and it goes like bend. Yes, bend. See this तदेव पुनः पुनः वदामि, रामायणस्य अत्र तु मया केवलं वेदान्तदेशिकानां रघुवीरगद्यं लक्ष्यीकृत्य यथामति यथाशक्ति वदामि। अत्र किमर्थं वाल्मीकिरामायणस्य मध्ये मध्ये तस्याः कथाभागं पठित्वा अत्र वदामि इत्युक्ते, एकस्याः चूर्णिकायाः पुनरेकस्य अग्रिमस्याः सम्बन्धं कल्पयितुं तथा करोमि। नो चेत् किं भवति, मध्ये कथाभागः कदाचित् कथाभागस्य त्रुटिः भवति। अतः तत् पूरयितुं कथां वदामि। सम्पूर्णरामायणस्य तु अहं न प्रभवामि एव, केवलं तत्र मध्ये तस्य लिङ्क् कल्पयितुं, सम्बन्धं कल्पयितुं कथाभागस्य विषये वदामि। सः केवलं अत्यन्त सामान्य अर्थः। एकैक रामायणम् ईदृशं काव्यं यत् अहमेव शतवारं पठामि चेदेव पठामि चेत् मम मनसि एव प्रतिवारं नूतनविषयाः स्फुरन्ति। अनन्तरं बहवः उपन्यासकाराः महान्तः ज्येष्ठाः श्रेष्ठाः स्वेषां ज्ञान वैभवं रामायण महाभारत भागवतादि उपन्यासेषु निश्चयेन ते कथितवन्तः। तत् श्रुत्वा अस्माकमपि मनसि ओ तत्र श्रुतवान्, एवम् आसीत्, एवं प्रश्नः अपि भवति। अत्र मम कार्यं तु Raghuveera Gadyasya पदस्य अर्थपाठनम् अनन्तरं सामान्य तात्पर्यार्थकथनम् एतन्मध्ये प्रसङ्गवशात् वाल्मीकिरामायणस्यापि तत्र मूलं विना अग्रे कथं वा गन्तुं शक्यते, अतः तदपि करोमि। अतः यदि भवन्तः जानन्ति एवम् अत्र चाट् मध्ये लिखन्ति अथवा यदि वक्तुम् इच्छन्ति निश्चयेन अहम् अवकाशं कल्पयामि। What I want is, instead of this chat, if you raise your hand or if you are willing to speak, you can share such experiences. Definitely that will be one instead of listening to my voice, my this thing again and again, definitely that will be interesting. Even others would like to hear. Bharati Bhagini Prachati, exam point, how we can study Bhagini. Maam Prachati aham bahu sarveshu karyagareshu mama lakshyam pariksha nastyeva. किमर्थं परीक्षा विषये पुनः पुनः पृच्छन्ति अहं तु न जानामि, यतः भवादृशाः परीक्षा विषये किमर्थं वा चिन्तां कुर्वन्ति। प्रथमं ज्ञानं प्राप्नुवन्तो यदा तत्र किं कथमपि वा भवतु भीतिः मास्तु एव। किम् अहं तादृशी दृश्ये वा किमपि पाठयित्वा टीचिंग रूल्स ऑफ क्रिकेट एंड आस्किंग सम फुटबॉल दिस थिंग अहं न करोमि। किन्तु एतत् परीक्षा इत्युक्ते केवलं भवता अवधानेन श्रुतं वा इति परीक्षां कर्तुं, नो चेत् कथं वा परीक्षां करोमि, मौखिक परीक्षा नास्ति, तत्रापि कथं भवति इति तद् अनन्तरं चिन्तयामः। मल्टिपल चॉइस वा किं वा ददामि अत्र, तस्य सम्पूर्णतया यत् अत्र पाठितम् अथवा यत् भवद्भिः श्रुतं तत्तु परीक्षां कर्तुम् अहं न इच्छामि, न प्रभवामि। तद् केवलं तदेव मानदण्डमिति न चिन्तयामि अपि। If somebody gets 50 out of 50, just by that I cannot tell that he or she has very attentively listened. That mama uddeshah sah na समग्र रघुवीर गद्यं कंठपाठं कुर्वन्तु, एकैकस्याः चूर्णिकायाः अन्यान् अपि वक्तुं समर्थाः भवन्तु। See, each course introduced in Vyoma is such a gem. You can create an awareness in youngsters. How, like, usually our children are fascinated by. We cannot blame them at all. Naturally, whatever they are introduced to, they rap and other things. If they are fascinated by that, you can tell them that there is such a nice this thing in Sanskrita Ramayana Kavya. See, the whole of Ramayana story has been in 94 lines that has been presented, given by Vedanta Deshika. Would you like to just, you can, Maithila Nagara Sulochana Lochana Chakora Chandra Dandaka Jangamata Dandaka Tapovana Jangama Parijata. You can challenge them. Can you tell this in one breath like that? There are so many ways to enjoy, teach others. You teach others and experience the joy of teaching. You will learn more. पुनः पुनः प्रार्थयामि, परीक्षा विषये इदानीं न पृच्छन्तु, अहं तद्विषये न इच्छामि अपि, मम लक्ष्यं परीक्षा नास्ति। अतः भवत्याः मनसि परीक्षा विषये अस्ति चेत् सन्तोषः, सिद्धतां करोतु, केवलं स एव मास्तु इति मम तावदेव, अन्यथा न भावयतु। न, परीक्षा विषये भवन्तः गम्भीररूपेण पठितुम् इच्छन्ति चेत् महान् सन्तोषः एव। Many need like lot of something like exam so that we'll become serious. I can understand that. I'm not at all telling that you should not do that, but completely, if you enjoy, if you are able to explain each word to word meaning to somebody else, then definitely that is more than passing out with flying colors or distinction or 100% rank, whatever it is. There the success of this webinar will be in teaching. If one man or one lady, if you teach 10, and if this spreads to so many people, so many, if they can learn Raghuveera Gadya and enjoy, then my effort, Vyoma's effort, everything will be fruitful. Namaste. So many have. Instead, I think एतत् पठितुमेव समयः अपेक्षते. एतस्य अपेक्षे यदि वक्तुम् इच्छन्ति अग्रिमकक्षातः तत् कुर्मः. यदि कोऽपि वक्तुम् इच्छति, if anybody wants to share any extra information, not regarding exam or any such thing, then definitely I will allow you to speak and you can share your experience. अस्तु, अत्र पठित्वा वक्तुं किञ्चित् कष्टं भवति. अतः अस्तु, स्थगयामः अत्र. अग्रिमकक्षायां सुन्दरकाण्डस्य केवलं तदेव दीर्घः अस्ति. अतः one more question is there. Let me see what. अस्तु, तावदेव. अधिकं परीक्षांशः. As I told, if anybody wants to share any this thing from next week, let us, for 5 minutes, let us do that. You can share your experiences. Astu. कवितार्किक सिंहाय कल्याण गुणशालिने श्रीमते वेंकटेशाय वेदांत गुरवे नमः. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ओम शांति शांति शांतिः. धन्यवादाः. शुभरात्रिः. सोमवासरे पुनः मिलामः. नूतन उत्साहेन मिलामः.